This is one of the newest knives from SRM, the 259L. I've been testing it for about the past 2 weeks and it's pretty awesome. In fact, just might be the nicest knife in its price range. So let's check it out. So first off, let's start with the build. When it comes to the handle, this is actually a green anodized aluminum handle with a rosewood inlay, which actually looks quite nice. And when it comes to the blade, it's a 14C 2010 reverse tanto style black blade. And overall, altogether, this knife looks super nice. I really like it. And when it comes to the lock, locks with an Ambi-lock or crossbar lock, depends on how you call it, and deploys with a thumb stud. As you can see, the action is quite nice, it's quite fidgety, pretty smooth, and overall, it's a really nice blade. And when it comes to the price, as I mentioned it actually costs just below 80 bucks, which is quite a nice price for such a nice knife. And to compare it properly, let's compare it to the CVV Vision FG, which also has a reverse tanto style blade, but it's actually nitro V steel, and it's currently at about the same price range, so it's a pretty fair comparison. And overall, yeah, this is actually one of my favorite knives, so let's see how they compare. As overall, they're actually quite a bit different, and in a lot of cases, the SRM, I would say, is a better choice. So let's start with the size. As you can see, size-wise, they look pretty similar. They both are pretty decent EDC sized knives, but when it comes to weight, there's actually a massive difference. This one is actually almost half the weight of the CVV, which is pretty insane. Just comparing them side by side, they look very similar. As this one I believe weighs about 75 grams and this one about 125. So a massive difference. And the main difference is the blade, as on the SRM it's about 2.6 millimeters in thickness, but on the CVV it's 3.1, I believe. I'll show it on the screen, but yeah, I believe it's so. And also the handle, as you can see, is quite a bit different. As SRM, similarly, some of their knives, like the 255L, have implemented this lightweight mono chassis liner. As you can see, the main difference is visible when comparing the 258L to the 255L. As you can see, this metal part is way smaller. So yeah, a way lighter handle. But as I've been using the 255L for quite a while, and yeah, it's quite sturdy. It's also not an issue for the 259L, as they both work quite well. And when it comes to other specs, they're also quite comparable, as when it comes to overall length, the CVV is about 202 millimeters and overall length, but the SRM is about 193. So quite similar. And when it comes to the blade length, the SRM is about 81 millimeter and the CVV is about 90. So technically a 10 millimeter difference in both specs, which is not a lot. But when you actually look at the blade, there's actually even a smaller difference. As you can see, the measurement for the CVV was taken from the handle, probably, I assume. But when you compare the actual cutting edge, they're actually pretty much identical, as the cutting edge on the CVV starts only over here. So yeah, for such a massive difference when it comes to weight, the cutting edge is about the same, so it's pretty insane. But when it comes to how it cuts, yeah, it's also quite nice. Actually came in super sharp. It measured in at about 110 and 175 on my sharpness tester, so far it's actually the best result since I've started measuring them. So yeah, it's quite sharp. And now, after 2 weeks of use, it's still quite sharp. Still cuts very nicely. I've obviously not abused it too much, but I've used it for everyday tasks, and as you can see, it's still quite sharp, which is quite nice. It's tested also on this rope, and yeah, there's it really nicely. And overall, when compared to the Civivi, this one obviously has been used quite a lot. I've had it for, I think, half a year, and it's never been sharpened, but still holds edge quite nicely, which is also a difference, as Nitro V holds edge quite nicely. It has a pretty nice edge retention, but the 14C 2010, at least usually, has a better corrosion resistance. So yeah, they both have their benefits, and they both are pretty nice budget blade steels. And honestly, so far I've not seen a massive difference between both of them. But yeah, maybe I'll see it a bit later. But 14C 2010 in general has been quite a nice blade steel for me, at least. I quite like it, so yeah, it's pretty nice. And overall, reverse tantos are quite a nice pick for EDC tasks, just like drop points. But as you can see, the geometry difference is quite a lot. So the reverse tanto will probably be better for puncturing, stabbing, and such tasks, and it's also quite easy to sharpen. So yeah, it's pretty nice blade style for the EDC, hiking, and yeah, our tasks. So if you're sick of using only drop points, a reverse tanto is a pretty nice pick for general tasks. It's a pretty nice blade. So yeah, overall, it's quite nice. And now it's time to discuss how it carries. As first off, when it comes to the clip, this one, just like some of their ARM models, has their proprietary Ambi-Clip system. As you can see, it's quite similar on 258L and also on the 255L, but it's actually quite a bit different. As on all of them it works like this: you squeeze the upper part together and the clip slides out, and you can easily slide it in to the other side. But I actually noticed that's quite a bit different than on these two, as the clip is a bit different. As you can see, it has the same system, works the same. On two of these, it's the same clip. I've actually previously exchanged them, so it's the same. But when it comes to this one, I actually wanted to swap them out, try on a silver colored one, but they're actually a bit different. I'll try to show you, but as you can see, on the 259L, it's actually a bit larger. So when you try and put it in, let's say the 258L, as you can see, jams in, doesn't go in, and vice versa when you try and put the clip from the 255L inside of the 259L. As you can see, yeah, it doesn't fixate, which is a bit of a bummer, but I guess this one is actually a bit better, as it has these multiple notches, and yeah, it might be a bit more sturdy. But yeah, on these previous models, the clip is a bit different. So taking note, you can't swap them out in case you need it. But on these two, it's the same. So I'm actually not sure if this will be the standard going forward, or are there simple multiple different variations. But yeah, me personally, I've not had any issues also with the previous ones. Even with the single notch, they're actually quite sturdy even with that. But I guess they had some feedback, need to improve. So this one actually has a slightly better clip, I guess. But let's see how it holds. As personally, I think it's quite a nice clip, but let's see, will it slide out? And as you can see, due to the light weight and combined with the sturdy clip, it holds quite sturdy. Doesn't even slide, and looks quite nice. It's a deep carry clip, so you can't even see the blade, which is quite nice. So overall, I really like it. For the price, I think it's, yeah, a pretty awesome deal. I liked it a lot. So I'll obviously continue carrying it. If you want to join me by picking one up, or maybe one of their other models, you can actually use the code BeardMan and get a 10% discount on your order. So it'll be even cheaper, and yeah, a pretty nice deal. So yeah, if you liked the review, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next one. Bye.